So my paycheck just came through, and officially my rent and my utilities are fucking 80% of my fucking income. I make good fucking money. I can't afford to fucking live anymore. I can't afford to feed 4 fucking kids. I can't afford to pay my fucking rent every month that went up $200 fucking this month. I can't afford fucking the stupid new utility rates, which apparently Portland water is going up another 6.5% this upcoming month. Fuck everything. Fuck this. What the fuck is the point of living if fucking everything's like this? This is fucking bullshit. I'm fucking tired of it. I've never made more money in my fucking life, and I've never been more fucking poor. And I don't make enough money to fucking... I make too much money to get any fucking support from anywhere, and I don't make enough money to pay my fucking bills. How the fuck does that work? Did you see the person asking for fucking change right next to me? That's gonna be all of us. We're all gonna be out there asking for fucking change because none of us are making enough money unless we're fucking exploiting other people to fucking get by in life. And it's fucked up. This is the second month in a row that I literally cannot pay everything. I literally have no idea how the fuck I'm gonna continue to make it. How the fuck am I supposed to buy everybody food? The fuck is that? Food has literally never been more expensive than it is now. It's more than twice as expensive than it was in 2019. Easily.
Look how expensive stuff is in my hometown grocery store in rural Washington State.
Welcome to another video. Man, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Knows in this gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Man, this is a quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Salaki is somebody's downstairs, but yeah, man, showed 2 videos of the typical Babylonian struggling to make ends meet, as that's pretty much everybody now, you know. And this is one thing that they was going into in a presidential debate, that this guy Biden has totally jacked up the economy, which the American economy has been in free fall since they took the dollar off the gold standard. Okay, they just been hiding these particular how can I say, they've been hiding these particular crises under different scenarios, like, you know, printing money out, bailouts, which what they don't tell you is when you're printing an exceptional amount of Federal Reserve notes out and you have nothing to bag it by, then eventually, you know, the debt is going to increase because you're putting more debt on the other nations to buy into, and the other nations are like, you know what, we're tired of paying off your fucking debt. Let's send this money back over to America and let them deal with it. Hence hyperinflation. So now that we're witnessing the effect of printing out all this money that have no value to it, now you're seeing the economy spiral out of control. Okay, even if the scandemic didn't happen, eventually things would have still went up anyway, because that was the telltale sign, you know, of them printing money out of thin air. in the debt, you know, and sending all this money to foreign aid. But they hid it under the C-19 ordeal. That was pretty much the cop out to say, well, yeah, this is the reason why the economy is bad, because, you know, the pandemic, which technically it's been bad before then. You know, they were just able to deal with what they call QE, which is quantitative easing, to keep things pretty cheap. Okay, but now I believe that they ran out of QE4, if I'm not mistaken. And now there's no bailout. You know, the next bailout was going to be the collapse of the dollar and bringing in a digital currency, which everybody will opt into, because there's going to be the promise to make things the way it was. But that's not going to happen. Okay, but you're seeing Edomites, they're losing their shit. Okay, they're losing their minds. Jake is losing their minds, man. You know, other nations, they're packing up. They're going back to their countries. They're like, you know what, the hell with this. We can do better, or we can do bad in our countries without having to deal with all this oppression. So people are at the point now, they just ready to lose it. And this is what we witnessed in the video. Like here you got honey bunches of oats. And I was trying to find a price on it. Life cereal, $7.29 for a large size. I remember going to the grocery store just 4 or 5 years ago, getting cereal, you know, and cereal has been kind of on an up and up for some time, you know, but like when I was a kid, cereal was relatively cheap, you know, $1 and some change for a box of good cereal. Now a fucking box of Raisin Brands costs you $3, $4, you know. What is this Life cereal? $7.29. That's crazy. Look at this, $10.99. Cheez-Its, $6.19, which this shit is poison anyway. You know what I mean? Honestly speaking, I wouldn't eat this shit anyway, but still, it's the point. People actually live off this stuff and they have the bodies to sustain their lives. And shit is high as hell, man. Okay, bread is $3, $4. I remember it was to the point eggs was $5 a carton, and that was for like the low grade. This wasn't even from the what do they call, the farm raised eggs, if I'm not mistaken, like the actual so-called real eggs, which none of this shit is really real, but from the actual source, the eggs were $6, $7, man. You know, and even the good ones are still like $5, $6. I remember eggs were like 89 cents a carton. You know, but all that shit went up, especially when they were burning down these processing plants. They were euthanizing these cows, man, the chickens, and they're still destroying these resources to this day. Okay, so, hey, things are going to continue to go up. You think shit high down? Wait till things start to really pick up out here. I'm talking about a loaf of white bread, Wonder Bread. The worst shit you could get gonna run your ass about $15, $20. You thought eggs were $6, $7 a year and a half ago? Hey, just give it some time, all right? And this is the sign of a failing society. This is a collapse. We're in the middle of a collapse, you know? What's this here? Playtex Sport. What the hell is this? Hold on. Extra virgin olive oil, $24. Nah, I'm not familiar with where this place is at, but when I was in the store yesterday, olive oil did go up. I was looking, it was like damn near $10-something for the good shit. I mean, for the basic shit, okay? Not even the good shit. I'm talking about the shit in a plastic bottle run you $8, $9. So for the cold pressed olive oil, shit, you may be looking at $15, man. You know, because the oils I use grapeseed oil, flaxseed oil sometimes. No, grapeseed oil. I use grapeseed oil, I use coconut oil, and I use avocado oil and cold pressed olive oil. Those are the 4 oils I use. I don't use canola oil or corn oil, same shit. I don't use vegetable oil or anything like that. I haven't used that stuff for some time. You know, I won't even cook with that shit. But overall, the grapeseed oils, that shit is like $10 now. You know, so yeah, things are really getting out of hand. And like I said, dude was complaining. He said that fucking water going up 6%. I noticed my water bill increased. I'm like, how the fuck do I have a water bill and I stay in a fucking apartment? You know, back in the day, apartments used to cover sewer, trash, and water. Now you get an apartment, now you have to pay for electricity, you have to pay for gas, you have to pay for water, all these things, man. So I'm in the process of finding another place myself, because it's just like, okay, you know, for what I'm paying for this place, I can be paying for a bigger place that covers all those things. You know, it's just basically moving the puzzle pieces around till they can't fit anymore. But eventually, everybody's gonna be priced out because shit, can't nobody afford to live. And that's when you're gonna have riots, is when people are gonna really hit the streets and they gonna fuck shit up out here. And deservingly so. You know? So anyway, this is the book of Revelation 6 and 5. It says, and when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and to lo, a black horse. And they that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard the voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see that thou hurt not the oil and the wine, which the oil and the wine is his truth. Okay, but this is going into hyperinflation, you know, because, hey, the apostles always broke it down. They said, look, you could be in a store and you can get a steak dinner for $22. And by the end of that meal, hyperinflation, that shit can go up $1,000, man, 1,000%. You know, like I'm noticing too now, like with a lot of auto shops, a lot of times you used to be able to call and get you a price code for whatever work you need done or whatever services. Now they say, look, you got to come into the shop because prices are subjected to vary. Okay, like you can get quoted for a brake job, $200 today, and you call back in 3 hours, that same brake job may be $500, just depending on how much money they made that day, you know? So that's what we're dealing with here, man, and people getting ready to lose their damn minds. Or they already losing it, especially these Edomites. Extra virgin olive oil. And I don't even look like that's the glass bottle. That look like some plastic shit. Look at that. Clorox wipes, $8.99, $8.49. What is this? Don't know what that is. Quaker Oats oatmeal, $5.89. Supreme. What is this here? What is this? Natural grain, which all this shit is poison, you know. But nonetheless, $5.09. This box of granolas used to be $2 and some change, man. And that was still pretty pricey. I think it was like $2.16 and some change back in 2020. Now that shit $5. Stove top. Who still buys that? Yeah, this here, the salsa. I remember this salsa used to be, I think when we used to buy it was like $2.78. Now it's like $3 and almost $4 now. Like when I used to get this salsa when I make my fajitas and stuff, it was like $2.24 for the medium-sized jar. Then you want to get the larger one, it was like $2.78. See? Orange juice, $7. Ranch, $7. Pickles, $5. Syrup, $7. So yeah, it's easy to say, it's safe to say that this place is not coming back. All right. Let's go here. So yep, this is the book of Luke 23. And I'm gonna start at verses. Let's start at verses 28. Point is in actually 31. But it says, but Yahushua turned to them, saying, daughters of Jerusalem, weep not for me, but weep for yourselves and for your children. So Yahushua was giving a warning already as to what was going to befall them as time progresses. And really, he was going into the time when the Romans besieged Jerusalem, doing what they call the Masada period. And you can read about that in Josephus. Okay, you can look up Jewish-Roman wars, or you can look up the siege of Masada, and it will go into this history. I think it was like roughly what Yahushua died on the scene with 33 AD, so 43, 53, 63, roughly almost 40 years later, this prophecy came to pass. But we know that prophecy is dual, it's manifold. So this is talking about the time and now. But it says here, for behold, the days are coming in which they shall say, blessed are the barren in the wombs that never bear and the paps which never gave suck. Yeah, because it's coming to a time now that, hey, it's going to be a blessing to not have kids, okay, or to nurture children in that day, because children is another added expense. It's another added expense, okay? It costs money. They say it takes a village to raise children, you know? It costs money to raise kids now. You know how much fucking daycare is? You got parents paying up to $300 a week for daycare. That's $1,200 a month. Okay, my daughter's gymnastics, that shit runs me $300 some a month. And the crazy part about it is it's due on the first of the fucking month, right when rent is due. So that's $1,000 out your pocket right there, paying that shit. That's why it says it's gonna come a time that, hey, shit, it's gonna be too good to not even have kids. And this is why me personally, outside of everything else, I refuse to bring another kid in this world. I'm just like, why would you do that to yourself, and why would you do that to your seeds? You know how much money it costs to feed their ass now, and then shit is getting expensive, you know, and they want the newest shit all the time. You know, they want the newest shit. They want the Crocs. They want the PlayStation 5s. And Lord forbid they start wearing Jordans. You know, it's shit. I can't give you them shoes, man. I can't afford that shit. Shit, children's Jordans, that shit run you about $150 now. Back in the day, children, I think what I won't say like what, 60, 70, 80 bucks. I think when I was a kid, because Jordans have always been fairly pricey. But when I was a child, when I was like a teenager and I wore like a size 6, my shoes was like 90 bucks. That was still a decent amount. You know, then the adults were like $125, which is not bad today. But I mean, now children's shoes are running your ass $150. And then when you don't have the money, then these little demons, they look at you like you crazy, not understanding the times we in. But it says here, blessed are the barren and the wombs that never bear, and the paps which never gave suck. Then they should begin to say to the mountains, fall on us, and to the hills, cover us, right? That's a form of hiding, okay? And people are in a mournful state now. People are in a state of despair. They have no hope. They have no foreseeable outcome or future. This is why, according to them, this presidential selection is so much important, because according to them, the balance of their country or their lifeline or their society lies in the balance of this new election. And this is like this every goddamn year. Every 4 years, you know, we got to get this guy in here. And they vote for these guys and they don't do anything for your situations. But instead it becomes worse. It's like, when you people going to learn? And it says, for if they do these things in a green tree, what should be done in a dry? Now, I wanted to get that scripture because going back to this video here, when Esau was really bugging out, things are still relatively green right now. Okay, you can go as you please. You can take a vacation. And if you got money and you got a lot of disposable income, then you can still do what the hell you want to do. I mean, you can still find workarounds. There's still things that's cheap out here, you know. They throwing deal, you know, shit closing down. You can still do things. You can still buy the food you want. You can still go to the places you want. It's just a little bit more expensive now. But we still technically in a green tree. The storm ain't even fully hit. Okay, we literally, the clouds are forming and you may have drizzle here and there. You may have a shower storm there. But the real storm ain't even happening and these people are bugging out. So how much more when a society collapses as an entirety or in its totality? And the reason why people are going to go so batshit crazy is because, for the simple fact, their pride, their entitlement, as America has bred a race and a culture of narcissistic people, entitled people, they're going to feel like, well, if they don't have, nobody can have. So when all hell breaks loose, these people are going to literally destroy each other's homes and lives because they don't want what the other person got, you know? And matter of fact, that's this scripture here. Matter of fact, we're going to go back to Luke 23, but this is the book of 2nd Esdras, 8th chapter. And I'm going to start at verses 50. It says, for great misery should be done to them that in the latter time should dwell in the world, because they have walked with great pride. Right, pride, man, okay? And pride is another reason why people are so fucking entitled to things that technically they didn't earn, because honestly speaking, none of you Edomites have earned the right to even exist, okay? Let alone us. You Edomites, you ain't do nothing but take, you know? But 2nd Esdras 15, and I'm going to start at verses 18. It says, for because of their pride, the city should be troubled, and the houses should be destroyed, and men should be afraid. Yeah, because pride, because entitlement. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were sitting on 2 months of groceries in the time of a siege, and your next door neighbor ain't got nothing because they didn't prep for the time, then they gonna come in your spot and take your shit, because in their mindset, why should you have and they go without? That's pride, man. Okay, because the American culture have been, it's pretty much individualistic. You know what I'm saying? They don't think for the collective. It's about, okay, keeping up with the Joneses, you know, cut you off at the neck to get what I want. It's a cutthroat society. You know, it's not like in those other countries when they come together as a community and they build each other up. And even if you Babylonians do come together for a short period of time, it's gonna be short-lived anyway, because y'all gonna turn on each other. And that's the reason why I laugh and scoff at these Edomites when they talk about forming militias, and they're gonna barter with one another, and they're gonna deal with each other for the resources and come together and set a community. No, that's not gonna happen. And they show you that shit all the time. They showed you that in that movie, The Walking Dead. When Rick and all them, and not Negan, but Rick and what's this guy named Glenn and their families and shit like that, when they was on a prowl and they was going to like certain sects and communities. Yeah, you had the governor that set up his own shit, but even there was division among him. There was a division among the people that had shit. Okay, so this is a divided society, so it's going to fall on all levels. All right, but anyway, going back to Luke 23. Luke 23. And let's go back here, 23, and I'm going to start at verses 31. It says, "For they do these things in a green tree, what should be done in a dry." And that's just symbolic as to things still up and running, but yet they're getting bad. So when this well runs dry and there's no water to pitch from the well, then these people, they're going to really lose their damn minds, man. Okay, they're going to really lose it, and they're going to really get off on each other. Okay, and suicides are going to be at an all-time high, especially among Esau and his women, because one thing about the Edomites, they can't deal with adversity. Okay, they talk a good game because they at the top of their pinnacle, but Esau can't deal with adversity. He couldn't spend a day in our shoes. Esau couldn't deal with 200-300 years of oppression like we done dealt with. This is why it's easy for them to say, well, things, you just got to keep trying. It's easy for them to say it because the ball ain't in their fucking court. The ball is in their fucking court, man. We had to live 300 years like this shit, and still to this day, Jake is struggling and making it. This is why coming into Jacob's trouble is going to be such a hard time for Esau, because it's going to be Edom's trouble too, but it's going to be such a hard time for Esau because he's not used to being without. So like when you go to these suburbs and shit, like in the major suburban areas in Chicago, and you got Greenwich and shit like that in New York, and you got Overland Park in Kansas City, all these multi-billionaires, they going to really lose their shit because they ain't never lost it. That's why it says, "For they do these things in the green tree, what should be done in the dry." And what's going to be done in the dry is going to be yet the telltale. Okay, last precept. This is the book of Jeremiah 51, and I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in our iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense." And that's talking about spiritually and physically when we get brought up out of this place, because we're literally going to be taken out of Babylon the Great. This is where the salvation is going to come from. Okay, Israel, that the Israelites that's here in America, we the ones that have to be saved. When how should I say, the ones that was talking about being saved, according to Matthew 24, it was talking about on this side of the world, man, because this is where the destruction is going to take place. Yeah, now there is a salvation for all our people that is righteous, because we're going to get the kingdom, we're going to be saved from this present wicked world, but predominantly the salvation is going to come from this side of the world, because this is the society that Yahweh Shai is going to totally destroy. He's going to pillage this place, man. And you see it in now. This is why all those armies of NATO are on high alert now, because now they're seeing the shit hit the fan. And it reads, and it says, "Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken." And how did they do that? Through philosophies, deceit, through this dollar, okay, through this petrodollar, the U.S. military and the CIA pushing these agendas on these different cultures. And this is the reason why you have soy boys over there in fucking Saudi Arabia now. Okay, that's part of the wine. It says, "The nations have drunken the wine, therefore the nations are mad. But Babylon has suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her and take balm from our pain." Balm is like a healing agent, like a Neosporin. Like when you have a cut, then they say, put this, it could be like aloe vera or something. It says, "If so be she may be healed," but she's not going to be healed, okay? And America have done bailout after bailout after bailout, bailing out these corporations, bailing out these banks, but yet they're still failing. Like they had that term too big to fail, but now Bank of America is on the verge of collapse, which I believe is the biggest bank in America, if I'm not mistaken, which I don't understand that because it ain't too many of them around. But Bank of America is still a very formidable branch, right along with Chase. And what's the other one? I think it was like Wells Fargo or some shit, but so many of them. But it says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Therefore, no, it says forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reaching into the heavens and is lifted up even into the skies. And that's when the Most High is finally going to lay the hammer down on this fucking place, man, and totally destroy it. And we're at that cusp now, and we're getting ready to witness the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. In a very short while, the Most High is going to start to break things down, and you're going to start to see a different world out here. Okay? But with that, I'm going to end it giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you were edified into the next lesson.